live once again. We are. Okay. Bring you up here. Hey, Ken. Don't know if I'm going to do any projects tonight. You got anything going? Five people here already. How's it going, guys? I don't know if I'm going to do any projects tonight. Just wanted to have a quick chat and let everybody know that there's an update with the tools. We have some good news. Just finished the cheap blower. Michael Turner's here. How's it going? Jacob Reed. Calroy. Calroy, just so you know, it is Dr. Olson. Mr. Olson's my grandfather, who's unfortunately gone. I don't make anybody call me Dr. Olson except for telemarketers, so Matt's fine. But Mr. Olson gets weird. I can't handle Mr. Olson. Jacob's here. Kevin Morgan. Kevin, aren't you over in Japan? Am I thinking somebody else? When is Dave getting his saw? Thinking of somebody else. Sorry, Kevin. Sorry, forgive me. No, that's spelled wrong. Jimmy on Superman. Jimmy Olsen is spelled wrong. Kevin's in Minnesota. Thinking of somebody else. Forgive me. When's Dave getting his saw? Whenever the check comes through, I guess. He's gotta pay for it, and I gotta ship it. But it's in a box. It's actually already in a box, ready to go for him. As soon as the check clears, you know? Or PayPal clears, whatever. What's the weather like in Minnesota right now? Rick, OU812. Howdy. What's going on? I'm not thinking of doing anything for projects tonight. I was going to just chat a little bit and give you guys a quick update on the tools. And we have some good news on that. I didn't know if I really wanted to go a whole lot further with this because I kind of need a piston next, I think. I've got this head for this 394, and it looks like this is kind of a refurbished type of head. But this is going to be like ideal to port, I think. I think somebody cleaned this up a bit, but it looks like it needs a little more work. We'll do a little massaging one day. But I need a piston first so I can get numbers, and then I can do the machining and all that other stuff. And I don't want to put this together a whole lot more before I do all that, before I, take it to the Bridgeport, because ideally on the Bridgeport you want as few things here as possible. Mild and 50 degrees. Yeah, it's like, I think it's like mid-40s here right now. It's a little on the chilly side. I've been to Minnesota. Where was I in Minnesota? I forget what town. Long time ago. College. So that was year 2000. 18 years ago. So I'll tell everybody here. So the news on the tools is that we basically have an ETA. And it's a fairly hard date. It's not this Friday. It's next Friday. So I think that's November 9th. What we have, the machinist tag team. One guy is doing the pilot holes for the ends and the thread here. The second guy is doing the final drill size and the tap on the ends, times 210 rods. So the first guy is done. The second guy is going to start probably this weekend. So how's that for good news? And so I hope to have something in my hand end of next week. I actually think he's going to get it done faster, but, you know, because he's actually ahead of schedule right now. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. And I'm just excited that this is moving forward. So the Cowroy, the emoji did not come through, just so you know. P.A. Dan, 50 degrees here in Pittsburgh. You know, let me check the weather here. Hang on a second. As of 2:57 this afternoon, it was 46. Let's see if it... 41. Yeah, 41 degrees here. '73 was 84. 73 in Florida. We've lost a lot of Connecticut people to Florida. In fact, I think the statistic is that out of all the people that leave Connecticut, 25% of them go to Florida. And Florida's loving that, because all these Connecticut people take all of their lovely money down there. But that also means that all that lovely money is no longer here in the state. Isn't that interesting? A service-based state, and the only people that need services are leaving. So, anything else going on, guys? P.A. Dan, what are you working on? Anything interesting? I'm just going to put all this stuff away for now because I just don't need it. Actually, do I really need... I don't really need it in the box anymore. I don't think I'm going to do any more demos for a while. No income tax. Well, that's part of it, but I think Florida also has homesteading, which we don't have. So if you homestead, then the property taxes are like 1/10 or something like that. Will these be complete kits? Well, Rick, it depends on what you want and what you need. What I consider my main kit, yes, will be available. For all intents and purposes, I'll have the full lineup, whatever you want, available. The main kit. Well, have I sent you the letter? Let me put my email in here. Hang on. I have a form letter that I send to anybody that inquires about the tools. I'm not trying to be impersonal. I just want to get people information. So the form letter basically says what's included in a main kit, and if you want other kind of weird stuff, then that's additional. But a main kit will cover most of the saws that people are rebuilding these days. 372s, 660s, you know, an 036, 026, 346 XPs, 288s, 3120s, all that stuff. It covers a lot of the stuff there. So they will be, email me and I will send you the form letter. But as soon as I have them in my hands, I'm going to email people that I've put on a list. I've had people say yes, be on the list. So I'm going to email them, and I'm going to say, okay, you owe me blank now, whatever it is, and they'll be in stock. And I'm just going to go down the list, and whoever is top on the list and gets me money first is going to get preferential treatment there. Yeah, you know, the tools are they've been a pain since the beginning. They really have, and hopefully these guys will be able to have, you know, give a more consistent supply. That would be awesome. You know, I would love that. Somebody else had a comment here. Hang on. PA Dan, I use your tools over Glock 37's house to assemble a 262. Yeah, Glock likes the tools, huh? He's funny. He likes them a lot. And Michael says, I just got done doing an engine rebuild in a Ditch Witch SK650 3-cylinder diesel Kubota. Okay. That's well outside my wheelhouse. Was it a good rebuild? Did it turn out okay? I wouldn't mind working on stuff like that eventually. But with my current employment situation being what it is, I don't think I'm going to get to do a whole lot more of that. But who knows? You know, you never know. And yeah, the tools have been driving me nuts. So for a year and a half or whatever it is now, just not had good luck with it. I remember. Found an oft overlooked piece. I had a guy dig a trench with a Ditch Witch for me, and I think he had a Kohler motor in it. I don't remember. It sounded nice though. Just putting this little rubber stopper thingy in here. Okay, this grease is going to be the ticket. So yeah, so I just wanted to come hang out with you guys for a few minutes. Nothing specific on the agenda tonight. Really, I was gonna put the seals in for this 394, but you know, I'm thinking I build enough of these that I think I want my own set of seal tools, so I may go make them. which involves me bringing this down to my parents and finding a hunk of aluminum and making some type of a shim so that it'll seat properly. What? Cole Armbruster, what's up, Matt? I think good. Thanks, Cole. Yeah, I'm okay. Just waiting on the tools. Since you're new here, I will talk about that in a second. Rick, what's a good way to pick up rebuildable saws? Figure possibly to find pro cutters, but most folks seem to hoard. Yeah, a lot of guys seem to hoard. You're right. Finding that honey hole of a whole pile of rebuildable saws, it's tough. It really is. You have to be on the lookout on Craigslist, on eBay. You have to have cash, and you have to be ready to jump on stuff. And you also have to know when to walk away, because people are hoarding, and they want way too much money for some of this stuff. I've explained this 1,000 times. You know, people want a lot of money for some saws, and they just aren't worth it. So you have to figure out what the saw is worth after the rebuild. Good mechanical condition, good, you know, reasonable cosmetic, or whatever you want to bring it back to, you know. Reasonable cosmetic condition. What's the availability of parts? Is this a collector's item? Is this something that, you know, you're going to run on a daily basis? All that stuff. And all that factors into finding rebuildable saws and knowing when to say no to a deal that may or may not be a real deal. Yeah, Cole, I'm good. I'm currently unemployed, but I'm good. Just doing stuff here on the... I haven't seen you on the live stream, I don't think. Just doing stuff on the live stream for the heck of it. Rebuilding whatever's in front of me. And right now, it's not much, which is good. I'm waiting on parts for that blower. I'm waiting on parts for that 372 with the busted cylinder head. And I'm getting a 262 in tomorrow, and I'm not going to keep this a secret. So one guy won this particular saw as part of a raffle, and Dan, the guy that does the Norwich get-togethers, built it, and apparently it's had an issue. Now, Dan is a reputable builder. Not going to take anything away from Dan. So I want to see what's up and what happened. But apparently something went kablooey. So we'll have a look at it. Again, Dan's a reputable builder, so I don't know what's going on, but we're going to have a look at it probably tomorrow night. So it'll be a 262, and it's a hopped up 262. This was a hot saw. Hey Matt, any thoughts on what carb I use to upgrade a 281? Use the 288 carb. I think I got my 288 carb for the 181 from HL Supply, actually. But when I went from the 181 Tillotson, I think it's still a Tillotson, to the 288 Tillotson, I actually had to change out the throttle rod and all that stuff, because the 181 has a linkage that's funny, and the 288 and I think the 281 have the roller. So as long as the 281 has the roller, then it'll, you know, you just buy new. They have new. Oh, Michael, I hate it if I get a circlip left over in a rebuild. Then you're like, okay, I got to tear the whole thing down again to figure out whether I actually put that darn circlip in the piston or not. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, there is an art to buying rebuildable saws, and I can tell you this: if you're planning on making money, the odds of that are exceptionally low. Even if you get the saw for free, you have to get lucky to have like a rockin' saw that you got for free that needs, you know, that's worth $700 and only needs $200 worth of stuff in it or whatever. So you need to get lucky, and I just don't seem to be quite so lucky at those deals. You might, but if you're just looking for projects, then maybe do the kit saws from China. Do some of the Chinese kit saws. It's a clean project. It's a fun project. You can watch my videos just to guide you through them. And you have tech support. Ed Riley, just pressed together crankcases, Farmertech 660. Think I need some new tooling. Yeah. Ed, you do that a few times, and you say, there's going to be a better way. And I'll tell you what, there are plenty of guys that are like, no, I just do the hot and cold thing. I just freeze this and heat this and blah, blah, blah. And then they try my tools, and they're like, oh, I'm never doing that again. There's no point. I was just talking to Onan18 today, and he's told me on plenty of occasions that having the tool set makes a full rebuild cost effective even in a shop. And he's got all the factory tools. He uses mine. That's kind of embarrassing for both Husky and Steel. But Ed, you're right. I did it for years. You go up and put something in the oven, and you're keeping bearings in the freezer, and too much of a pain. And you're waiting, and then something's hot and something's cold, and then one hand's got a glove on it. Other questions, comments, guys? This is crazy. I could just come online and chat with like 15 people all across the world. I think that's awesome. I don't know if it's sustainable, but it's awesome. Has anybody seen my trick on these? We need a chain adjuster. Might as well do the trick. Here we go. I was out working in the shed a little bit today, but the air out there is not so good right now because I'm doing insulation, and yeah. Ugh. So I did a little bit of work and I quit. Way too much trouble. Yeah, I know. So some aftermarket chainsaw parts are fine. Others are not. I think the highway chain adjusters for the 394s, 395s are just fine. So what I do is I get an E-clip. I have an E-clip assortment here. I think these are 3/16 or whatever. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Because the rubber thing that comes with this just disintegrates. That's stupid. Boing! Try again. I think that's the wrong. I think some of these got mixed up. That's not so good. So if you're wondering, I'm just trying it on this and trying to find the right size. I don't think I have the right size right this second. It's this one. Yep, that's the one. Just gonna tweak this a shade tighter. Then what you do, so you make sure it fits. Do you do this kind of work on the side, or is this your business? Michael, I am a dentist by trade, and I am currently unemployed. So I do this as habit more than hobby, if that makes sense. And now I know a bunch of tree guys, and for the most part I got 2 guys that keep me plenty busy. So now the E-clip fits right in there, like perfect, and it's not going to go anywhere, and it's never going to rot out on you like the rubber does. Hey Tim. So yeah, so Michael, so what I do is basically I rebuild trash saws, and I initially started out doing this for myself, and then people here, you know, I started selling them on Craigslist, and then some people are like, hey, can you do this for me? And then you start meeting people, and then like, can you do this? Can you do that? Blah, 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 whatever. Here's some saws. So it just keeps going, and it doesn't stop. Because once people figure out that you work on chainsaws, and, you know, 99.999% of the people out there are sick and tired of dealing with dealers, you get the idea. Suddenly everybody's knocking on your door. I think I need to get more E-clips. Order more. Time to trip to Harbor Freight. Or wherever. So yeah, so this is not technically my business. It's not something I'm trained professionally to do. It's something that I have spent an extreme amount of time learning over the past few years, since 2012, 2013, whatever that was. And yeah, I'm just here. 17 people watching me talk. Okay. How's everybody doing? So, oh yeah, Tim, tools. So the reason for me being live tonight is that there is a tools update, and we are looking at not this Friday, but next Friday as the ETA for the rods. And as soon as they're in my hands, I'm going to email people that are on the list, and anybody that's on the list is going to be like, okay, you know, what do you need? They're ready to go, and I'm going to be expecting payment ASAP. So very exciting that we're finally getting tools back in stock, and but I'm not taking orders until I have them in my hand. You know, I gotta make sure that these guys really do deliver. And so far, it looks like it's going to be just fine. 19 people here. Who showed up? Yeah, Tim, I'm excited. I'm finally I will have tools back in stock, and it'll make me feel a whole lot better. Yes, not much going tonight. Just wanted to make a quick announcement on the tools. If that's it that you guys are doing, nobody's got any other comments or questions, then I may call it an early night here, because I don't have stuff. Tomorrow hopefully we'll get a 262 to work on, and kind of interested to see what's cooking with that. Oh, Larry's here. Hey, Larry. Oh, you have a Johns Red 630 you're working on? Got to get a 394. These are so nice to work on. Sorry, Larry, you came a little late. I was just letting everybody know that the tools are imminent. Not this Friday, but next Friday. Up, down to 16. We're dropping numbers. Dropping like flies. Alright, I'll let everybody go for tonight, because I don't have a whole lot here other than talking about tools, which is fine. If nobody has any other questions, then I will go enjoy the rest of my evening. Maybe have a drink or something, I don't know. Shine for me tonight, I think. Woodcutters treat them like gold, yeah. Some people are into certain things. Yeah, the 266s, 268, 272s, same thing, I think. No problem, Rick. Good questions, man. Happy to answer what I can. If you need more explanation, you can always email me. Or if you're interested in tools or whatever, or you need me to send you something, just send me an email. All right, so I'll call it a night, and we're gonna pick this up tomorrow with a 262 and possibly a 181, but that's beside the point. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Night, guys.